what I have to say about this particular thing. I so much appreciate that, and I will not take that for granted. So if you can hear me good, let me know. If you are having difficulty hearing me, also it might be because of your computer or some technical challenges at your hand. So if you can hear me, can you please identify, please?
I can hear you perfectly.
Thank you so very much,
Yeah, I
Miss
can hear you.
Fikemi. Thank you so very much. That's actually set the stage for us to rock and roll this morning. So this is our first webinar this year, 2021, and it's still not too far into the year. We can still wish ourselves Happy New Year. So Happy New Year to everyone. And I know that this year we deliver for you what you actually desire.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so very much. So today we actually want to look at how to change career and what are the tool sets that you need, what are the requirements, and we're going to be focusing on the major ones, which is the mindset and the skill set. Now I understand that many of us here, you might probably have your own career. Okay, you are established in your own career. And why would you even need a career change? There are so many things that will actually cause somebody to require to change career. And many of it could be because maybe you find yourself in this environment after you've actually gotten to the hallmark of your career, okay? And you find that the career that you have so much spent your life, your time, and your resources on has gotten to the climax, right? So because of that, you notice that the only thing that you want to do is to look a different way and chart a new course. So because of that, you find yourself, okay, cybersecurity is the in thing, and that's why you are here. Or probably for you, there is discrepancy between what you are actually doing right now and your worth. Okay, you find that the job you are currently doing is an insult in your intelligence. So you find that, okay, yeah, I just need to look for something. It's not because you do not have any job, it's not because you are not making ends meet, but you need a career that you can grow in. You need a career that will meet your financial status. You need a career that will help you, that will challenge you. Okay, maybe that's why you need a career change. So those are the few things that we're going to be addressing today. And we're also going to be looking at cybersecurity. If cybersecurity is something that you are looking into growing into, then what are the things that you need to know if you are coming into the cybersecurity webinar? I mean, into cybersecurity career, right? So, few housekeeping items that I want us to touch base on today. Number one, I want to enjoin everyone. Please make sure you are in a listening only mode, so that we'll be able to avoid some distractions. There are so many things that we're going to be talking about today, and I know many people will be joining in at every point in time. So please ensure that your microphone is muted, so that we'll be able to keep the background noise away from this platform. Everyone will be able to enjoy the webinar. Then also a quick disclaimer: this webinar is recorded. Okay, so that's why I know that it's not appropriate for me to record everyone, without letting you know. So, and that's why we do not encourage you to turn on your video. Do not turn on your video. But if you feel comfortable to turn on your video, please do so. But personally, I do not turn on my video so as to minimize distraction. Okay. If you have any question, if you have not sent in your question, please do so by utilizing the chat box. Send in your question. One of the team member will be responding to your question. And if there is anyone that they have not been able to touch on, I will be able to answer those questions during the question and answer time, because there's going to be a live question and answer section also as we progress. Okay. So a little bit about me. If you do not know me personally, I am Olukayode Oshilaja. Currently, I'm the IT security consultant for Proven Academy. I'm the facilitator of this training. You're going to be hearing me all through this training period, and then I'm going to be the one communicating to you. But at the back end, I have so many people working behind the scene. I really appreciate them for doing so. That's just to give credit to those whose credit is to those that credit is due. So, in my professional world, I work as the global vulnerability analyst, as a supervisory associate for one of the corporate organization, and I as well consult for other people. Okay, I'm focused more in the area of cybersecurity. I have a wide range of experience in the area of cybersecurity, operation, compliance, and even the cloud security. So previously, I've worked for United States government, uh, as a senior compliance specialist. I worked for NASA before as cybersecurity analyst. I worked for Social Security Administration. I've consulted for some other federal government agencies. So generally, I have both the federal government experience as well as corporate corporate world experience. So, and I trust that all this experience will be bringing those experience together to guide you into this career in cybersecurity. Okay, so that is why we are here. So, about this webinar, what are we going to achieve today in this webinar? It's good for us to know that right from the back. So, career change and the requirement, that's the very first thing that we want to look at today. If you want to change your career, what are the things that is required of you? And then we're going to be providing relevant information that will help you or guide you into making an informed career decision. Okay, then all you need to know about cybersecurity, many of you, you've heard so much about cybersecurity that you begin to lose meaning, for what cybersecurity is all about. We're going to talk about our training program, and then we also have some other people that are benefited from our training program, from our mentoring program. They have been able to be guided from no experience, and now many of them are now working for different company now, and they really want to talk to you about how this mentoring program have actually guided them, into that career path that they are currently working at. So those are the things that we want to talk about today. All right. So let's talk about where it all started. What's the beginning of everything that we are going to be looking at? Number one, we need to know that the journey into a new career begins from you, and it begins from where you are. And the reason is simply because there's this saying that the human mind has the power and the capacity to adapt and to change. Okay, so which means we have that capacity in us to do anything that we imagine to do. Okay, so But knowing that you have the capacity is not enough to guide you into what you need to do. You also need somebody, a voice, a hands to guide you into what you desire to do. And this thing that we call capacity is defined as your ability, human ability to do things. And when we talk about skill sets or the mindset, both of them are tied to what we call this capacity. So capacity, as it speaks to your skill set, it speaks to your mindset. Okay. So I've been in this training field for about 4 years now. I've been in this career for quite some time, and I've come across so many trainers. I've heard a lot of people talk. One thing I've realized is that many of us trainer, we emphasize skill sets. We have actually overemphasized skill sets at the expense of the mindset. Okay, so we talked about the tools that you need to do to be successful in your career. But the mindset that is required to sponsor your journey, we do not emphasize that. And one thing is that results is not much pronounced simply because many people ride on the wing of the skill set, believing that the skill set is the only thing that will get them to the career that they desire. But when they are faced with challenges, when they are faced with some uphills, okay, then they backtrack. They find out that, okay, this training thing is not even working. I mean, this cybersecurity training thing is not for me because this is not the way we actually envision it to be. So, what the the problem is that the application of the skill set is not emphasized, and that is the mindset. So few things that we're going to be looking at are: what's the place of your skill set, what's the place of the mindset when you have to transition into a new career. So that's why I said that skill set is highly rated at the expense of the mindset, and the result of overemphasizing skill set is that we tends to motivate people, we inspire them, we it's real, it's something that you can almost touch and feel, right? But human being, they are at different learning skills, at different learning capacity. So if all of them receive the same kind of fire, motivation, and inspiration, that yes, cybersecurity or this particular career is the in thing, then go for it. This is all. This is how to balance what you need to balance. This is how to do what you need to do. And now you set the ball rolling. Okay. What about the application? How do you handle challenges when it comes? How do you adapt to that, to growth in that career when you are faced with some things? How do you actually change? Okay, that those ones are less emphasized, and that is where mindset is required. Okay, so now let's talk about mindset and skill set. Okay, the question is, why do you even bother to change career if you are not going to be successful in that career? The journey does not worth embarking on if you are not planning to be successful there. So that if success is the goal of any career, if success is the goal of any journey that you want to embark on, then you should know ahead of time, before you embark on that journey, that the component of success are skill sets and mindset. Okay, and skill set speaks more to your ability, to your potential, to your talents. Okay, to the training that you have received that is required for you to get there, right? How do you, you know, troubleshoot? How do you, conduct assessment? How do you balance your workbook as accountant? How are you going to be successful as maybe an athlete or an Olympian? How do you do all of those things? So, or if you're a basketballer, I think that's what they call them. Okay, you have a very great talent. You are lanky, you are tall. Yes, you have the talent, you have the potential to be successful, right? And you have the skill set. You got a good coach that coach you how to do all of those things. So, what the coach is going to be successful at achieving in you is not to make you more taller. It's not to add to those talent that you have. It's not to add to those potential, but to put you in that frame of mind that you have to be a successful, excuse me, basketball human being or professional, right? And that is mindset. So, mindset speaks more to your thinking, your belief system, the way you respond to challenges, your attitude, your emotional state. So, it's good for us that we are beginning 2021 listening to these things. Okay. Some of you, it might take you immediate, action to decide which path you want to go. Many of you, you are still ruminating over that. And that is why we are all here to learn from each other. So, skill set and mindsets, when they are put together, they lead us into the success that we desire to get to. Now, let me give you a better understanding how the mindset and skill set work. And let's look into the life of a soldier. Okay, what makes a soldier is not the weapon and the uniform, but the attitude that it has. Okay, anyone can buy the uniform. A lot of people, they have guns, they are kit up, right? But if you do not have the attitude of a soldier, it will be difficult for you to be successful as a soldier. Okay, so the training, the regimen, the routine that you are exposed to, your daily routine, that is what sets a soldier apart for success. It is not the uniform, it's not the weapon, it's not the amount of weapon that he has or how well he can handle things, but the mindset. That is what makes a soldier a soldier. So that is why we say that skill sets can be acquired, but mindset must be what? It must be cultivated. So skill set is available for all, but mindset is a deliberate thing that you have to do. So you have to cultivate that mindset to be successful at anything that you imagine to do. Okay? He said, nothing shall be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. So the power of your imagination comes into play when you want to make a career change. The mental shift is important. Let me use the word of Charles R. Swindoll. He said, I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. So, if we wait for them to get just right, we will never laugh again. So, he's simply saying that what happens to you is 10%, but how your attitude to life is 90%. So many of those things that lead to us laughing again, many of those things that lead us into that thing that we desire to do is as a result of how you respond to it. And also, similar to that statement, an anonymous author said, enlightenment comes from living. Life itself is a process of continual improvement. It is 20% what happens to you and 80% how you respond to that. So many of these things is still speaking to us. Hey, you will get a very good career coach. You will get a very good, you know, trainer. You will get a very good teacher. Okay. But and you are being taught exactly the same thing. Maybe you have 100 people being taught exactly the same thing, but only two out of maybe 100 become successful. Now everyone received the same information, but not everyone benefit with the same information that they received. What is the difference? I want to believe mindset is still talking about that. So, coming into the cybersecurity career, you have so many trainers. Many of you, you've even circled around so many of them. They've taught you, you've gone for different kind of training. But now you pay for different training, but it's not yielding the same results. Now, let's pause and save the money for a minute. Okay, why not take a few minutes, sit down and think about it? What can I do with what I have learned? Okay, so that is what we're going to talk about. Now, let's look at cybersecurity, the skill set and the mindset that we need to put in place to be a successful cybersecurity professional. Okay, so in this session, we want to talk about things that you need to know when you are coming into the cybersecurity career. Few things, the objective that we're going to circle around at this one, and this will help us to answer so many questions that many people have. If at the end of this training you still have any question, believe you me, we'll be more than happy to answer your question. But we've been training for almost 4 years now, and we've come across so many questions. So that actually formed the basis of our training curriculum, our webinar presentation, to be able to address so many questions. Our webinar is first to educate people, is first to enlighten people, because many people believe that this particular career, cybersecurity, yes, is the right thing to do now, but how do I get in there? There are so many things that you are thinking about in your mind that you felt are pulling you back, that okay, no, this is not for me. Okay, you have come to the right place, because at the end of this will be able to answer some of those questions, your fears and your faith. Okay, so why? What about these cybersecurity skills? Okay, what is it about this thing? These cybersecurity skills that have been, you hear about it in the news, is a notorious human being right now. So if I have these skills, then what? If you have cybersecurity skills, few things, you will always have jobs. I Apart from knowing people personally that have more than one jobs, okay, I attended a webinar. I think it was just a discussion on IT thing, and somebody said, "What is the use of all the money that I make? You know, doing 5 jobs, okay, in the corner of my house, when I cannot benefit my brother that is out there struggling for survival? Why can't I train that person? You know what I do that make me to be doing 5 jobs, earning like 600,000 per annum, I'm making the government smile at the end of the day by paying more taxes to them. Why can't I train my brother and or my sister how to be successful? How can I make this thing easier for people to understand? And how can I, you know, impart my knowledge to people, so that they can better their life? Some people are struggling, for financial survival, not because they are mentally lazy, but they do not have the right information. And now I have this information and it has procured for me about 5 different jobs, 4 different jobs, 3 different jobs. And to the extent that sometimes I'm pushing some offer away and they are begging me, you are the right person to do this job. If I cannot impart my word with what I know, then all the money that I have is of no use. And that actually gave me a reflection of exactly my state of mind. I I started working for federal government, and when I was there, many of them, who know who kind of influence to coerce many of your uh, just graduated high school students. Okay, just push them into the federal government space to come and do the job. And here you see this guy is very good at what he does. He's a very good mentor. So let him mentor you 2 weeks and you start doing the job. So many of them, they get recruited into the job or hired into the role. I train them and they become a very good security control assessor. I said, okay, come to think about it. These are the people that may not have the same kind of education exposure that some people that I know have, and they are working at McDonald's. Okay, now, how do I make this thing available to people that I believe they actually have the intellectual strength to make something better for themselves? So that is where the passion to train people comes from. It also emanated from uh, coming into United States with my degree in IT and so many years of experience doing something in the area of IT. Now, I got there, I felt that the least I can do is to work in this space, cybersecurity thing in the IT field. But I like to submit to you. Many people know my story and they're on this platform. I worked in in a place that I do not like for more than 3 years. And I was earning, living, of course, doing that job, I was still making ends meet, but I was not fulfilled. So I noticed that eventually, when I got myself into the career, because I didn't even have anybody to train me to talk to me about how to be successful about anything. I was just doing a lot of trial and error. So I felt okay, now that I've been able to transition, that my strategy had pushed me into limelight. Nobody around me should suffer for what they are qualified to do as long as I know you and as long as I'm living. So putting this training together is not just because I'm trying to occupy the time, or the Proven Academy is just trying to look for people around to coerce into doing things that we feel that you need to do, but it's to give you the kind of skill sets and the mindset for you to be successful. Okay, so with cybersecurity skills, you will always have jobs. Another thing is that in cybersecurity, you can work without having cybersecurity degree. And I gave you the example of many of those high school graduates that are working in federal government space, and believe you me, many of them will stay there 30, 40 years and retire. And guess what? No love lost, no, nothing. They didn't lose anything, and they don't even care about any degree. In fact, two of them told me one time that they cursed their high school teacher, their history teacher, out. They cursed this woman out because, according to them, she was talking bullshit. Pardon my French. Okay, so which means they are high school dropout, and yet they are working in cybersecurity space. So degree is not really the major thing that you need to work in cybersecurity space. You can work in any industry. Your skill sets are valued all across the world. Any part of the world that you find yourself with cybersecurity skill, you will still be able to fit in. And the compensation are very good. Okay, and also the work-life balance are very flexible. I give you example of people that have more than 5 jobs that they are doing. Okay, and they do that from home, right? And they are able to attend to so many things while they are making their income from 5 different companies. So if you have the cybersecurity skills, your work-life balance are very flexible. So what is this cybersecurity thing that we are talking about? That would be the next question. If not because of the number of people that are here, I would have said people should just tell me, when you hear the word cybersecurity, what comes to mind first? What's the first thing you think about? Can I get one person to just unmute yourself and tell me, you know, when you hear the word cybersecurity, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Anybody? Anybody? Three? Okay, Mr. Joseph, go ahead, sir.
Cybersecurity, I think, is a process whereby data are being protected from, for example, hackers, or data has been vulnerable
Okay,
to the public.
fantastic. Now, Mr. Joseph, okay, let me put you in the on the spot for a few minutes. Are you working in the field of cybersecurity already or not yet?
No,
Not
not yet.
yet. Okay, not yet.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, if you know this much about cybersecurity, then you have the right definition. Thank you so very much. You can go ahead and meet yourself. Now, he mentions very, very important thing. He said data, those are the key points that I'm looking for. He talked about protecting data from hackers, that is the bad actors. It also talked about the public, that is, don't make it known to people that do not need that information. Protect. So that is what cybersecurity is all about. So is the practice of protecting data in any form, from unauthorized access, modification, or deletion. It can also be defined as a technique of preventing systems, networks, programs, and application from digital attack. Okay, we are still talking about protecting data here, right? So these data are hosted on systems, okay? And they are probably transferred through networks, or probably stored on a program, or some application collects your data. Everything, everywhere you look, you're going to see data there. And these data are not meant for everybody. They are meant to be protected irrespective of where they are found, whether on the network, whether on the system, whether in the program, whether in an application. Okay, when the data is at rest, when the data is in use, or when the data is in transit, it needs to be what? Protected. All right. Now, this cybersecurity is a career, it is not a job. And now I was looking at what's the difference between a career and a job. If cybersecurity is a career, it's not a job, then what's the difference? So what this mean, according to J.D. Roth, it says that a job is something you do simply for you to earn money. A career is a series of connected employment opportunities. Okay, that is the definition according to J.D. Roth. Another definition, it says that job has minimal impact on your future work life, while career provides experience and learning to fuel your future. So you see that job speaks more to your present, where you are right now, but career talk more about your future. So if future is your desire, then you need to start doing something that hold you a future and not just the present. Okay, and cybersecurity is that career that hold you a future. Now, in cybersecurity, and this is where it gets a little bit very interesting. There are so many domains in the field of cybersecurity. As a matter of fact, we call it cybersecurity field. And why do we call it cybersecurity field? Because it looks like a field. Wow. Think about this as a desert, as a big field. Everywhere you turn to, at least there is a destination to get to. Okay? That is a field. And one of the characteristics of wilderness of a field is that everywhere you look like the right way. Everywhere you turn to take you to somewhere. Okay, but is the place that destination is the destination you have in mind the same as the path that you are taking there? That would be the second question. That is where the place of navigation has to come to place. Okay, you need a good navigation system to move you from where you are to where you plan to be. Okay, it is not charting any course without navigation that will not take you to the right destination. And that is why i I don't 100% support that French adage that says the journey of 1,000 miles, okay, begin with the first step. No, the journey of 1,000 miles begin with the first step in the right direction. Okay, if you are not heading the right direction and you are taking the step in the wrong direction, guess what? You come to the end of that place, you find out that you are not even arrived. Okay, but why not at the beginning from where you have, with what you have, chart your course to the place that you have in mind? And that's what this webinar is here to achieve, to help you and to guide you to navigate to the right career that you have envisioned. So cybersecurity domain, you have so many things. I can't even talk about all of these things, but that's to tell you so many things, so many career paths in the cybersecurity. But to kind of help us and to narrow down what we are looking at, then I have been able to strip everything down into three broad domains. Cybersecurity domains can be looked at at these three different domains. We have the compliance side of cybersecurity, we have the operation side of cybersecurity, then we have the cloud security. Okay, and to further kind of explain to you what the compliance is all about. The compliance, even from the word compliance, ensuring that a system is maintaining the compliance that they need to achieve for data security. Many organizations, or every organization that you can think about, okay, every organization that you can think about, they are being guided by one form of law and policy. Depending on the business operation, if you are working in the health industry, then you are very much familiar with what we call HIPAA. Okay, if you are working in a maybe in a financial industry, you probably be familiar with what we call PCI DSS and all those good stuff, right? So everyone is being guided by one framework, one policy, one regulation or the other. So how you are complying to the regulation that is overseeing your area of expertise, that is what compliance is all about. Are you complying to EPA? Are you complying to the PCI DSS? How are you complying to NIST? Are you complying to SOX? Are you complying to all these things? That's what the compliance is all about. So there is a framework. You are not inventing anything new. So there's a framework, thou shalt not steal, right? For example, then what are you doing? Are you stealing? Okay. What you do, we match it with what you should not, what you should be doing. If there is a gap, okay, or then that is what we call finding, and that is what the compliance side of cybersecurity are doing. They are not introducing anything new, they are just enforcing the rules and the regulation that guide any business organization. So that's the compliance side of cybersecurity. Then we look at the operation side. Probably you've heard about the hackers, the threats hunters, the security operations center, the incident response team. Those are the people that they mess with some tools to hack into some things. So you need a little bit of programming, scripting language to be able to function properly in that domain. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's the operation side of cybersecurity. Then we have the cloud security. Like I fondly say, everything will meet in the cloud one day, right? Okay, so everything is gravitating to the cloud now. So what you are seeing physically, they are being reproduced in the cloud. So how do you, and the kind of environment, because of the environment that we are dealing with in the cloud, it requires some kind of skill sets to function in that area. Then you've heard about DevOps. You've heard about solution architects. Those are the people that provision server in the cloud. Okay, and then they monitor the security, they identify the vulnerabilities and all those good stuff, right? Those are the cloud security. But we don't have enough capacity to today to kind of talk more about all of these things, but that's just to give you like 300,000 overview of what cybersecurity domains that we have. Okay, so different roles in cybersecurity. You have people with different umbrella name. You can be a cybersecurity engineer, but your job description might be different. Okay, so those are the different roles that we have in the field of cybersecurity. Now, as glorious, as lucrative as you can consider the cybersecurity field to be, they are yet to meet their quota in every phase. They are yet to meet the requirements, for the protection that they desire to have. So that's why we say there's a shortage in the field of cybersecurity. There is a website that I always love to introduce people to. It's called cybersec.gov.org. So this website helps the federal government and some, they call them NIST, National Institute of Standard and Technologies. They come together to create this website so that they will be able to measure, okay, the rate at which to gain an overview of what is happening in the field of cybersecurity. And I just want to show you a few things, two tabs under this website. The first one is the interactive map. map. When you see this map, oh, it looks so cool. The map of United States with different color code. Don't worry if you do not see red, it doesn't show the political map, right? But it's simply talking about the cybersecurity, talent and gaps that we have in United States. Each state, they are color coded. So, and the color code, the legends for those color codes are also displayed on the right side. So the states with very deep blue color has minimum of 20,000 job openings currently that is yet to be filled in the field of cybersecurity. And the list of those states have the list number of 294 position that is currently, unfilled. Okay, so that's to let you know that every state that you are in, you have a job opportunity in United States. Okay, and now that's also to help you know that if you are looking for a job, some states that have larger number of openings. So if you are thinking of relocating, if you are thinking of looking for a job, then it helps you to have the right information. I'm going to post this link in the chat room for everyone to see. Okay, so that you can also click and see what I'm looking at. So now, if you look at this, it says at the national level, we have a little above 500,000 job opening that is yet to be filled in the area of cybersecurity. Okay, total employed cybersecurity workforce, that is the number of people that are currently working in United States in the field of cybersecurity, they are less than 1 million. In a population of about 32 million, correct me if I'm wrong, we have less than 1 million people working in the field of cybersecurity. So they said that the supply of the cybersecurity workers is still very low compared to what they expect. Okay, so that is the first thing I want you to look at. Now, the second thing I want you to look at is the career pathway. Okay, career pathway. This is also going to help you to understand the models that we have in the field of cybersecurity. So, cybersecurity analyst, that is the mid-level, okay, of most of the career in this field. And that is where the training that we offer to people, that is where it's locked in. The cybersecurity analyst. You see that the average salary of a cybersecurity analyst is $96,000. Average. It doesn't talk about the bonus, it doesn't talk about anything, but just on the average, the worth of anybody that has cybersecurity skills, okay, is not less than $96,000. Now, to some people, that doesn't make a lot of difference. To some people, it's going to make a whole lot of difference depending on where you are. Now, I want to help us to understand something. So, here's a good calculation. We work 40 hours every week and we have 52 weeks in a year. So that means that everyone, you work 2,080 hours in 1 year. So now, if you divide 96,000 by 2080, it says the worth of a cybersecurity analyst per hour is not less than $46. It's not less than 46 hours. I have seen people, of course, been in this field for a long time and training a lot of people. I've seen people that the first job that they got, they start them off with $55 an hour, some with $60 an hour. Now, you know what that means? For $55 an hour, that push you at 100 and almost 115,000 per annum. So now we are not emphasizing the benefit, because what you do as a result, or what you become as a result of what you do, is more important than what you get as a result of what you do. I'm not trying to emphasize the benefit alone and pushing aside the mindsets that will get you to this 6-figure that we're all talking about, right? Okay, so how you get there is more important. It's the process. Okay, so that is very, very important. So I'm going to put this one down. So when we say shortage in cybersecurity, that's what we are talking about. So also, according to John Macumba, in December 2017, he said there are a lot of productive jobs in the field of cybersecurity that do not need a 4-year degree. Okay, so which means there are some jobs that will not wait for you to go to school and come back after 4 years and wait for you. There are some that can be taken whether you have cybersecurity degree or not. And there are some that will actually play into, and that is not to discredit degree. That's not to discredit degree. That's not to tell you that if you're in school, just withdraw. You don't need to waste your time. No, it's to tell you that there is a place for degree and there is a place for no degree. Okay, so if you are here, you're thinking, oh, I'm not in, I don't know so much about IT, so that is why I cannot come into this field. This speaks more to you than somebody that have masters in IT and all of those good stuff, right? So that is very, very important for us to know. So another thing that John Macumba said, he said nearly all career require some form of degree before you can practice and be successful. But in cybersecurity, degree is not required. He's still talking about degree, not the major emphasis for career success here. I know that many of us, we are working in the health industry, in the health sector. You are a nurse, you are a doctor or something. You all agree with me here. Here is our meeting point. Okay, that before you, even if your father, you are born a physician, right? You are born a nurse. Okay, for you to be able to actually practice as a nurse, so we want to see the certificate. We want to prove that you are resilient. We want to prove that you have gone to school and you have completed all your coursework. You sat for those almighty exams. Despite the fact that you know how to do this thing, that does not confer on you that title of a nurse. So, but in cybersecurity, they look at things differently. That as a matter of fact, it is not about your certificate. It is about the skill sets that you have and the mindset that will give you a future as a cybersecurity analyst. That is what is being emphasized here. And also, the shortage of cybersecurity skills can be addressed, starting with training anyone who is unemployed or underemployed. Okay, who is unemployed or underemployed? If what you are doing is, if there is discrepancy between what you are doing and your worth, okay, then you are underemployed. Okay, so training anyone who is underemployed or training anyone who is unemployed, that is how we address shortage in cybersecurity. And lastly, and by next year, right? This prediction came like about 4 years ago, that by next year, 2022, if we are not training enough people to take over their place in the field of cybersecurity, we are going to be left with about 1.8 million deficits of cybersecurity skill set. So training people is legit. Cybersecurity training is legitimate training for anyone that wants to transition into cybersecurity. Okay. So we've talked about that. So let's talk about some certification. I will just brush through this certification thing. I know many of you say, okay, yeah, but cybersecurity, we have a lot of certification and all of those good stuff. We're still going to talk more about that if you're going to sign up for our training. The training has started today, but this is just the introductory section. Next week it continues, and then we're going to talk more about that training. So we have so many certifications, okay, and that we need to emphasize in the field of cybersecurity, and that depends on the goal, the career path that you are choosing. Okay, so this is just to give you an overview of things that you need to know. So it's essential for you to acquire the cybersecurity skills. So how do you acquire these skills? Okay, remember what we said. You need to get trained. Okay, you need to get trained. You need to prepare your resume. You apply for position. You prepare for interview. And when you've done all of these things, all things being equal, you will get hired. That is how to one of those ways by which you get into the field of cybersecurity. Okay, so let me talk to you briefly about Proven Academy, and then I have about 3 people waiting online that want to talk to you about how our mentoring program have benefited them. Okay, and then after they talk, if they have the liberty of answering your question, if you have any question, feel free to ask them question. However, but let me talk to you about Proven Academy. So Proven Academy is a cybersecurity training organization established with the passion of equipping the next generation of IT professionals with relevant tools for career advancement. We help people bridge the gap between the unemployment and employment by introducing them to affordable training. So the training is not going to be break your pocket, right? It's going to hand to you the relevant skill sets for you to take a flight into this career. And our training program is in 2 tiers. Okay, we have one that is called LOMP, lump, and then we have OLMS. The lump is live online mentoring program, and this provides a well-crafted career center cybersecurity training that helps you to make relevant decisions when you're coming into this space. And then our online learning management system talks about the self-paced unlimited access to the wealth of IT resources, which you're going to get for 1 full year. So the good thing is that these 2 programs, they're worth more than $2,000. Okay, but for everyone that listens to us today, you sign up for our live online training program today, you are only walking away with 1,500 as the training tuition. Now, we are not saying you should pay that right now, but that's to tell you the worth for attending this webinar. So how has this training been? What are the things that we're going to be talking about in this training? Okay, introduction to IT. If you are brand new, you don't know anything about IT at all, we take you, the way our curriculum is structured is to accommodate people that do not have very strong skill sets in the field of IT. So we pick you up from that point, and we kind of train you, with us for 8 weeks, instruction-led live online training. So for 8 weeks, introduction to IT, we also give you information security is part of our curriculum, risk management framework, network security, vulnerability management, cloud computing, and FedRAMP. Okay, we talk about the resume assistance. The interview preparation is also part of our training program. And of course, we have a physical office. If you want to see us, our office is located in the address below, and the information to reach us is right here. So now, before I talk any further, uh, I would like to invite three people. They want to talk to you about how our mentoring program have benefited them. So I'll first call on Feyikemi. Are you able to talk now?
Yes.
Can you please go ahead? The floor is yours.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Feyikemi Adeluba. So I'm just briefly going to talk about my experience and my background and things like that, and you know how amazing this class has been and encouraging me to land my dream job. So I had my bachelor's in economics back in Nigeria, University of Ibadan, and then I moved here like 4 years ago for master's. I got my MBA in management information systems. Pretty much, I had no background knowledge of IT at all. I never even could imagine I'll find myself in IT. But I just did masters in MIS because I was looking for something different. And along the line, I met a friend that had, been through this class before, and he explained his experience and things like that. So I decided to give it a try back in May of this year. I mean, 2020. And so coming to class, the first orientation, just like this, I was more convinced that, this is what I wanted to do. And I started the classes. So definitely this class is, a combination of so many things, being committed, dedicated, on making sure that this is really what you want. So, the class was very interactive. Mr. Kayode will come, teach, we'll be able to ask questions. The floor is open for you to ask as many questions as possible. And the good thing about this class is the fact that it started from the basics. So if you have no prior knowledge of IT or anything, I know we started with like computer stuff, starting with like RAM, ROM, and things like that. Things we learned back in like secondary school and things like that. So it started from the basics, which is very good to prepare you for the challenge ahead. So it's a good one. And we started that way, 8 weeks, we would ask questions, we were in groups. For those of us that had very interactive groups, it was a good one to network, learn from other people as well, while you're also sharing your own knowledge. So that was very beneficial. And then after the class, because Mr. Kayode would send you, a recording of each class. So that way you can always go back there and, learn. And then with the portal, there are so many resources that are so useful. If you decide to take certifications along the line, these resources are like so good. I think it's like over 200 resources in that portal. That's when you sign up for the class. So you have access to all these resources and you can always go back and learn even after the class. So that was very, very helpful for me. And when I finished my class in May, um, I was very determined that I definitely wanted to land my dream job. So I was always, going back to study, um, going back to my resources, the classes all over again. I'll call Mr. Kayode if I have any questions, if I'm stuck, he would always explain. And my friends as well that I was able to network with as well would always explain. I had different interviews, there were some rejections here and there. But I mean, eventually I landed the dream job, and that was very exciting. After, different levels of interviews, I was able to land that job. So I could testify that definitely this is real for sure. It was a dream come true. So I would definitely encourage everybody. This is a very good field. I have no regrets, and I'm more than convinced that this class is a very good one. And I'm encouraging you guys to sign up and be dedicated, be committed, and for sure you will land that dream job.
Thank you so very much, Feyikemi, for this word of encouragement, right? Um,
Yeah.
Now, one thing about Feyikemi is that I haven't met her one-on-one because she's not living in Texas, right?
Yeah,
She's
I live in
living in
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, right? But we've already talked, And even we've not even had any opportunity for any video interactive section also together. Okay, but it is not about who you know or who you have met. It's about offering you what you need to get, right? So, and I believe one of those people that I love to meet this year will be Feikemi. Right? So,
Very soon, very soon.
definitely. Just let
Mm,
me know when you are coming to Texas. Thank you for those
yeah,
words. Then I
thank you,
have
sir.
another friend. This is somebody that I know very well. I know him one on one. Okay, Mr. Daniel is here. You want to share your testimonials too, Mr. Daniel?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kayode. Um, Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening, whether from any zone that we are calling in from. Once again, my name is Daniel. I My background is in engineering. I studied telecommunications and electronics engineering back in Africa, Nigeria. I practice in different field in walks of life, and I some time ago worked in media, whereby that was what really drove my enthusiastic into IT. Prior before then, what really motivated me is kind of funny. So please don't just laugh at me. I saw this movie. The movie is called 24 and 24 hours. I don't know if anybody is familiar with that movie. And the main character in that movie, his real name is Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know if you are familiar with that movie. And then one thing about me, when I'm watching a movie, I want to see everything. And when I first watched the movie, I was doing my NYSC then. So I just went to go and call my colleague. I have a roommate where we have a corpus lodge back in Africa. If anybody's familiar with NYSC, so I just prepared the breakfast, and I went. I mean, I discovered that my friend, my roommate is missing. So I kept hearing their voices in about 6 rooms down to my room. Then I just went down there to go and call him that breakfast is ready as usual. So I just saw I saw him holding his toothpaste and his toothbrush, and I saw everybody glued to this movie. I was like, "What's going on? You left the room about 2 hours ago." So I was holding my own toothpaste and a toothbrush to come and tell him that the food is ready. And guess what? I just get glued to this movie too. So we spent about 3 hours. So what really called my attention in that movie was the technology and the cybersecurity aspect of it. And that was way back. I think that was way back in 2006 or 2007 or so. So then I said, "Oh, I developed interest." So, and I'm a kind of person that really like image. I first imagine something in me. So when I finished my NYSC, when I started working works of life, I found myself in the media. So which really encouraged me. I said, "Okay, yeah, that's fine. In media, you have to work in every aspect." So when I got to United States, I mean, while I was working back in Nigeria, I was working as an IT desktop support, which is kind of, you have to repair computers and other things. So when I got here, I found so many, diverse area of cybersecurity field. So I delved into it. I first studied with someone way back in another state, whereby his own vision is kind of contradictory to what Mr. Kayode mentioned the other time in John Makumba's theories that says you don't need 4 years degree. He emphasized that you have to have a 4 years degree before you come to his class. So that kind of, pissed me off somehow that also, so you don't want to give other people opportunity. So I compared that with Mr. Kayode's class. I said, okay, yeah, he said you don't have to have a 4 years degree. It's even though I have my degree, but I still, kind of skeptical that, so you don't want to bring people in. So when I had my training, remember I said that I was planning to pursue my career in IT, desktop, and others too here. But a friend of mine told me when I met him in New York, he said I should delve into security, and I asked him why. He said that you guys, you do too much when I know you guys, you this tech guy that you do IT desktop. That delve into security, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to make you think wider. then you are going to earn more than what you are earning now. So while I joined that class, the first person that trained me, I was doing, reading for my IT desktop, and I was reading for security at the same time. I was doing two things. So when I finished the class, I just dumped the notes. So when I came to Texas, I met Mr. Kayode, and he said he's doing the same training. I was like, okay, let me just give it a try. So I paid, I get into the training, and I found this class very, very interesting. So calm. It's going to accommodate your question. It doesn't matter whether it's going to tell you there is no foolish question. Any question is a question. So I just, get along. Before you know it, I finished the class, I think way back in 2018 or so. But I would have gotten job, but I didn't really take it serious. I was still pursuing my other IT. I was doing both of them at the same time. But one thing I want to advise everyone that will join this class is that make sure that you give this very material is going to give to you a very good time that you are going to be studying it, because it's very, very essential. So until late last year and this year, I spoke with him again. One thing about his class is that he's going to keep checking on you to know where you're at, that what are you doing concerning your career, that please don't be discouraged. And at the time, he would just keep calling me. At the time, I just started avoiding him, that I don't know what to tell this man again concerning, but he's going to sending you, he's just going to keep on sending you some materials that will encourage you in terms of certification, what you can read. You don't even have to have certification before you can get the job. So along the line, he got back to me again. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm still applying." He said, "How much per day?" I said, "I'm applying maybe maybe twice in a month." He said, "No, that's not enough." Then he's going to sit down with you. Prep your resume, see what you are doing, not what you are doing wrong. Maybe this is why they are not calling. I remember he sat down with me online some time ago. I even went to him. He sat down with me one-on-one. He worked on my resume, said, "Okay, this might be the reason why." So, and I just kept on. And he told me, make sure you are applying for jobs, at least in a day, at least 12, 15, 20. Just don't give up. And he's going to keep on sending you the materials and others. One thing I want to encourage everyone here is just that, this platform is very, very beneficial to me. I remember after his class, he created a WhatsApp platform, group for all the participants in his class, such that we can be interacting. We are sharing resources, information. If anybody, he even emphasized that if anybody attends any interview, that we should share our interview experience with our colleagues on the WhatsApp group. And then things worked good. So sometime last year, he just told me that I should just keep, applying. So I gave at least 2 hours, 3 hours a day in applying for jobs. And, and he opened my eyes into different kind of a job platform that can, all this job seeking platform that you can apply. And it worked, and I got a job. And even though he kept checking on me, how is the job going? If you need any help, just let me know, first time in job. And each time I reach out to him, is always there to assist. So I want to encourage you to please. It is not, I know where I'm coming from, just like he said the other time, he worked in a place, he said he worked in a place 3 years that he doesn't like. I have worked in a place that I don't like too, for like 3-4 years too. But when I got this one, I know it's a good job. So I want to encourage you to please don't give up. If you have any, if you need any help, just reach out to him. And I wish you success, everyone on this platform. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Daniel, for those words of encouragement. So I'm going to bring the last person up. And then before we shut it down today, I will just talk more about the training, the LOMP, and then other things. Okay, somebody said he has a question, or she has a question. So is it for me or for a particular person? You can, if you don't mind, can you type those questions, okay, into the in the chat room? I will get to that question and answer section, so be able to talk more about your question, if that's okay by you. Okay, so now the last person is Miss Amaka. Can you please introduce yourself to us if you are here? Amaka, are you
Yes. Can you guys
okay?
hear me right now?
Loud and clear, ma'am.
Hi guys. Hi, Mr. Kade. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so let me just introduce myself real quick. Yeah, my name is Amaka. Um, I met Mr. Kade last year. So let me just tell you guys, I had no knowledge of IT. What I mean, Shingbaim, I was just a dullard that didn't even know anything about IT. So I have a BSc in banking and finance from Nigeria. Then I went to Vancouver, Canada for my MBA, and then I came here. Fast forward to when I came here, right? My friend was like, cashing in. And I'm like, dude, what's up? What's going on? Like, show me the way. So he said about heard about cybersecurity. I'm like, Kilo Sheba, like, what's that? So I then said, you know what, let me just do my own research. And the more I did my own research about this, the more I wanted to be a part and parcel of this. So I spoke to Mr. Kade. He invited me for the same webinar that he had invited you guys to. And I'm like, okay, you know what, let's move forward with this. Now, Mr. Kade went to the very core of what is a computer. So he's teaching us about, the CPUs, the monitor, the everything. I'm wow, like, wow. So we started, he grouped us into, different groups, you and you guys, do this assignment, you guys study, let me know what you guys think, and all of those things. So at every point in time, when we felt like we were not acing it, we'll come back to Mr. Kadi and say, oh, Mr. Kadi, I think, we made a mess of this. Like, what can we do? What can we do? And he'll always listen to us. He'll always tell us, okay, you know what, let's just do it this way. Let's just do it that way and all of those things. Now, prior to the moment where I was still, doing like my 8th grade class with Urban System Academy, I was also doing like my certifications as well. I did like 7 certifications because I wanted to be ready and have all the things that I needed when I was ready to put myself out there for a job. Now, once I was done with everything, I said to Mr. Kade, you know what? I feel I'm ready. He said, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. Now, the most amazing part about it is that doing the class is a whole different thing entirely. Now, being in the market is a different ballgame altogether. Because I remember there were days where I'm calling Mr. Kade, oh my God, but I just did this. I felt like I aced it. Now, the grace of God that I had upon my life, like made interviews start coming like ASAP, like pam, pam, pams. I was having, different companies call me maybe 7 times a day. I'm having different companies. And I felt like I was acing it. So I said to Mr. Kade, I don't know what's going on, though. I'm acing this thing, but I'm never getting the job. Then he'll calm me down. Oh my God, he'll calm me down. He will talk to me. Mr. Kade wasn't just my teacher, he was a mentor as well. When I say he was a mentor, I mean like Mr. Kade was with me every step of the way. Sometimes I'll have to, break into his meetings in the middle of the night, like maybe 6 p.m. or there. But I'm like, Mr. Kade, I'm stuck. I need to do this. I need to do that. He listened to me in everywhere. He would even have like Zoom meetings with me. He'll say, this is how you're not doing it right. You know what? Let's go back to the drawing book. There is no way I'd be here without Mr. Kade. Mr. Kade, I just want to say, I know I've said thank you a lot of times, but I just want to say thank you again because you are indeed a good communicator, a problem solver. You're exemplary and you're visionary in all of those things that you do. And I can't just say thank you enough. And I salute your tenacity for the purpose and outstanding leadership you've impacted in me because you changed my whole mindset. You changed everything in the space of 3 months. And the icing on the cake was when I got my job, guys. So I've been hearing about like 6 figures, 6 figures. So sometimes I'll be like, well, me, I can't get anything less than 6 figures. I can't do this. I can't do that. So at some point, Mr. Carter, we're take it slow. Even if they tell you like $46 an hour, just take it. I'm like, I'm not taking any $46 an hour and all of those things. But when the job that God wanted me to have, when it came to me, oh boy, oh boy. So I'm just going to encourage every one of you to sign up for this class. The future is digital. You have different varieties to choose from. There is new skills, there are new skills, there's job satisfaction, and the icing on the cake for it is the salary. It's like a pineapple meal. I don't know if you guys have had pineapple meal before, but that's how it is, because you would make all the money you're going to pay for this training, you'll make it and more, and you just be like, God damn it, what have I been doing since? So I just want to encourage you all. How it is for A might not be how it is for B. The fantastic thing about this class is, the grouping into, different groups. They'll tell you, oh, you be here, you be there, and all of those things. And don't be afraid to ask. Like, everything that you feel like you don't know, please always ask, because the more you ask, the more you know. So I just want to wish you guys the very best. If you guys have any questions, if you ever feel like you need somebody to talk to, I mean, you could always, come to Mr. Kade, and we could always share knowledge, because I mean, we're all one, and let's just keep on helping each other attain exactly what we want to attain in our career path. So I've got to run right now, but Mr. Kade, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Amaka. Thank you for your time. I know you said you had so many things on your plate today, but you still spare the time to talk to people. Thank you so very much for your time. And also, Amaka, I've not met her one on one also before. She was first living in Illinois, if I'm right, Chicago. Okay, before she relocated to Texas, right? So you're welcome to Texas. I believe one of these days we're going to see, right?
I relocated because of Mr. Kayode.
So that's fine. That's a very good thing. Thank you for your kind words. And also, what Amaka did not tell you is that she landed a job, and where she's going to be managing people, like a manager position, managerial position. That's the position that she she got. Okay. Then apart from that, I don't have time to bring everybody in. Okay. One of the pastor that also called me, was it on Monday this week, that yeah, he got a job, okay, as a facilitator in a particular place, and they will be paying a certain amount, six figure, also doing it part-time now. Okay. So now, what we are actually trying to emphasize, we are not emphasizing the money, but remember, the skill set is required, the mindset is also important. So that's what we are talking about here. So let me attend to a few questions that we have on this platform. Then if you have any question, let me know. Okay. So number one, somebody say, what's the different similarities between mindsets and confidence? I've done IT audit and compliance and cybersecurity, but I still feel the confidence is missing. How do I build this confidence? Oh, that's a very good question. Now, let me take that question. Number one, the similarity between mindset and skill set and confidence is just your attitude to things. Now, there are so many things that speaks to your confidence. Number one, fear of the unknown. You're trying to come into a career that you have not been before. You don't know how it be. How do you safe land, right? So because of that, you become afraid. And there is nothing in life that needs to be afraid. All you need to do is to learn more. Okay, when you learn more, you kind of excommunicate fear. If you can take care of fear, believe you me, you will be able to prevail. So, and how do you excommunicate fear? Is by learning more. Okay, you learn more, you try to expose yourself to more knowledge. Okay, that that actually address that area that you are feeling jittery. Okay, you say you've done IT and then confidence is missing. Like I told you, you need to, if you have the right people around you, you keep the right company, you you have somebody that can actually listen to you, to analyze your fear and to kind of reduce the amount of your exposure to fear. You find that you begin to gain confidence. So that's very, very important. Keep the right company, and if you need a little bit of time, you know, if you want to schedule a time to talk to me also, let me understand and assess your situation, then we can take it up from there. Okay. And then another question, it said, for the people who have spoken, how long did it take for you all to get a job? I think they answered that question, right? All of them answered the question. Mr. Daniel finished the training somewhere in 2018, okay, but didn't take it serious until last year, towards the end of last year actually. Then he got the job. It is the story. Amaka said that the story will be different, case by case. It depends on how aggressive you are. Sometimes it depends on if you're applying for the right thing. But the most important thing is that if you keep at it, you're going to get to it. Okay. So now, and do you need additional training and information after the training? Now, the question is yes. Nobody, including me, will tell you that everything that you need to land that job is everything that you'll be taught within these 8 weeks. But what we try to do is that we link you with the resources. I will show you what our OLMS looks like, right? We link you with the resources that you need to excel. And you have to be aggressive in that area. Now, remember that it is 10% or 20% of what happened to you. But what determines the success will be the 90% of 80% how you respond to it. Okay. But it's good for you to know that you have somebody to guide you into that career. It's good that you know that you have somebody to listen to you. It's good that you know that you have the training. The training will set the pace for you, but you have to do some work. Okay. Nobody becomes successful without putting in your own effort. So that's why our training is all encompassing. We give you the assignment, do it, listen to those video training, walk through those assignments, and by the time you do all of those things, you emerge at the end of the 8 weeks as somebody far better than the way you were when you started. Like, how many professional certification needed before landing a dream job? None. That's just the truth. It is not the number of how many certification, but having the relevant certification. I've seen people that got the first job without any certification. And some people will hire you into that role and say, okay, within 90 days, I want you to produce this certification. Okay. You might have one, you might need two. It depends. But having the right, the relevant relevant certification, that is what is required for you to land the job. Okay. Are certification a prerequisite to getting a job? Not all the time, but at the same time, you cannot keep a job without a certification in the field of cybersecurity. You can get a job, no doubt about it, without certification, but you cannot keep any job or grow in this field without having a certification. So in our IT certification session, we talked more about those relevant certification that you need to focus on and that will help you to land that job. So while we are waiting for other questions to roll in, let me quickly show you some of those things about our online learning management system. This is our online learning management system. We have over 252 training courses. And if you sign up for our training, you gain access to this online learning management system for a whole year. Okay. So, which means you have so many things that you have to learn here. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to complete all the 252 courses, but it's to tell you that the resources that you need for you to excel is available for you. So we designed a curriculum for you to show you what you need to focus on, those training that you need to look at, that you need to listen to give you that thing. So we'll give you that curriculum for the online learning management system. It's available for you for 1 full year, during and even after. So if you sign up today, you get signed into this thing within 24 hours. That's for that. Now for our live online training, we also have a curriculum. So it continues next week until March 13th. So it continues. So that is the training curriculum. Week 1, which is going to be officially next week, we're going to be talking about information security. We talked about computer technology. Many people do not have very strong knowledge in IT. So we all begin from the rock bottom, right? So we start from that place. What is it about this computer? How computer as a unit, what makes computer? Okay, we look at that, and then we look at when computers are connected together. What are the protocols? What are the security concerns? How does data transfer, from one computer to another? How data move from, your computer via the internet? What are the security concerns, right? All of these things are things that we talked about. It's like we build it precept upon precept, line upon line, and we take it up to the level that you're going to become. Okay. And that's exactly what Feikemi testified to, and also Amaka. Okay. So it is very, very essential for us to know that. And then we walk our way through every week, meeting every Saturday, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. Central Time for 8 weeks, starting from including this week will be 9 weeks anyway, because today is just orientation. So we're going to walk through all of those things, and then at the end of the day, we'll emerge at the end of the tunnel with a testimony of a job. Okay, I think we still have more questions that rolled in. Like, how many professional? Okay, we answer that question. Our certification, we answer that question. What are the certification required for compliant or risk assessor? Now you are pulling me into the certification question, but guess what? I will still answer that question. Now, it's still the field in cybersecurity. The basic certification that I recommend for everyone and anyone coming into the cybersecurity field is what I call Comptia Security Plus. Okay. I love this certification because it is all encompassing. It cut across different aspects of cybersecurity. So if you have any textbook, and the good thing is that even our curriculum cover all of these certification that you're talking about. Okay, if you are looking for any or all of these certification that we're talking about, Security Plus, CISA, CISM, CISSP, our training platform gives you access to all of those things. So let me show you quickly around on this platform if this thing will be done thinking. Okay, still thinking. So let me just manually search for Security Plus. So for Security Plus, you have that here, ethical hacker. If you're looking for that, security analyst role, this is Comptia A plus. Okay, this is Security Plus, right? So they are video training. You can be listening to them while you are cooking in the kitchen. You can be listening to them when you're back from work and you feel tired. Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear the volume. So you listen to all of this video training, and to enlighten you more on things that you need to know about cybersecurity. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you how some of those things, are played out. Okay, so you play this thing and it keep playing on you, and then it takes you from one um part to another, and then at the end of the day you're going to emerge a knowledgeable individual. So these are the resources that we have for everyone when you sign up for the training. So that being said, like I said, the training is 8 weeks, and our training is originally $2,000 with all of those things. But for everyone that signed up today for this webinar, if you are interested, you are going to be paying 1,500. And then for the payment plan, we have very robust payment plan, maximum of 3 installments. Okay, 500 every 2 weeks. Within 6 weeks, you knock it out of the way. So that is how to go about that. And for any information, if you need further information, I'm not sure if I have my admin here or is caught up doing something else, but you can send me a direct message on 281-643-0089, or you can respond to the email that you got. Or anyway, if you need any further question or clarification, we'll be more than happy to do that for you. So any last minute question, anybody want to ask question verbally, maybe you cannot type, or you are driving or something, you feel like, okay, now I have a question, go ahead and ask your question, and then we're going to shut it down for tonight. Any question?
Yeah, I have something to say.
All right, Mr. Franklin, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I am Frankie Mekole. Mr. Kayode has been I can say my friend, though we have never met. I have heard the success that even those we started the classes have had. I did the classes last year, but because of many issues, I was not like full in the class, but I decided to come back because he was doing a good job, and he has been there advising me on what to do and how we have to go on it. Like the second speaker put it, no, knowledge sometimes is not what we have acquired, it's not what we have studied. We try to follow our field, and in the system that we are, we'll never succeed, we'll never have the means to move forward. But with Mr. Kayode, I've seen many things that I know some of us are new here, but I'm old, I'm a repeater, I'm repeating. So I just want to encourage everybody. It's a good class, and I believe after the 2 months, some of us will come out satisfied, and we shall have jobs. Because if he was not a good teacher, I would not even come back. But because he's doing a good job, that's why I told him that I want to come for a refresher so that we can start from there. And Mr. Kayode, thank you for the opportunity that you have given me. And I pray this time I will not fail you. Thank you.
No, don't worry about that. I totally understand. Like I told you, there are so many no, everyone has different capacity, and then there is no one size fits all kind of solution to everyone's situation. Like Mr. Franklin, I know that he was going through some, you know, challenges, not really terrible one anyway. I'm not saying that, and I apologize for even using that word
It's okay.
challenges
It's okay.
anyway. Okay, so he did the training during that time. So he felt that, oh no, I missed a lot of things. I don't even know many of those things, or I've forgotten or something. So one thing about our training is that once you pass through the training and you feel that, oh, I just need a little bit of more refresher, I need to hear that thing again, feel free to reach out to us, and then we'll be able to hook you on. And now, Mr. Daniel also said he has something to say. Go ahead, Mr. Daniel, please. The floor is yours.
Yes, I was just going to follow up on Mr. Franklin's. Um, I I experienced same thing with you, Mr. Franklin. I had a class, I think twice with Mr. Kayode, and it's that doesn't make us a failure. The best thing we should realize is that if we try something once, if it doesn't work, we shouldn't think that we are the one that is best. We should just look at the areas that we are not doing right. I remember Mr. Kayode was even the one that told me that if I'm not confident enough, I can still take a refresher class. So you and him, you just have to sit down and work on maybe if you are paying full or if you are paying this certain amount to take a refresher. Just like, and I know he is a human being too. If he knows that you are going through a kind of situation that you might not even be able to pay now, you can just sit down and work it out. Because I took his class more than once too, and he quite encouraged me. So if you think you are not you don't have it right now, you can still have, take the class again. Just to refresh your mind. They call it refresher class.
Okay. Okay, thank you so very much for that. So I don't think I have any question coming. Mr. Ideong, I know you've been trying to ask question. Please go ahead. The floor is yours. Ideong Ete, do you have any question? Okay, I don't think Ideong Ete, do you have a question? If you are talking, we are not hearing you. All right. While we are trying to figure that one out, Lola Jerosimi, your mic is also unmuted. Are you trying to ask questions, sir?
Yes. Hi. I just want to quickly. Okay, I think I will be echoing right now. Okay, 1 second. Am I?
Sure.
Am
Go
I
ahead.
echoing?
I think you're fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my name is Nola Jorisimi, and I got to know Mr. Kayode a few weeks ago.
That's correct.
I just want to mention to you that the person that referred me to him is a veteran, is a higher level intellectual person. And out of all the list of other related discipline trainers that he knows, he said this guy stands out. All I've been hearing today, it's not different. Probably actually put icing on the reference that I had for him. I just want to mention that I see him as someone with integrity and with passion for changing lives, much more than the business side. I hope if you're willing to change your career, God will give you the leading to make the best decision for yourself.
Amen.
It's the career is in high demand. And if you have attended the webinar today, I feel you probably have a need. And I want to encourage you to give it a trial. I took a similar step of faith in 2010, and it changed my life completely from a fellow Nigerian brother that feels that he knows where the career path is going, or high demanding career path is going, and he gathered people. So this is another opportunity for some of us to tap into that high career level, that we have the capability and we have the potential. We just need a mentor. You just need someone to show you the way. I hope the meeting will be a life-changing meeting for someone today, and we'll also be giving a testimony soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Professor. Right.
I
I know you don't want me to.
didn't.
I know you don't want me to call you
No.
out, but I have to put you on the spot.
No.
No, that's fine.
Thank
That's
you.
okay. That's okay. I know you don't want me to put you on the spot, but I just
I
I have to
beg.
do that. All right. So
Thank you.
as I am also, I'm not saying that I know everything. I grow in this career, right? And in the next few minutes, we're going to show that, and I think we'll just try to wrap up here. So there are so many people that I've selected in my journey to career advancement too. And one of those people that I'm leaning towards because I'm planning to take my PhD in the field of cybersecurity. So I need to know those people that have done PhD before and see, okay, what is it? I mean, what is it all about? I have my master's in cybersecurity and information assurance, right? But I still feel okay, yeah. Let me take it a little bit further. I've not decided when, but I know there is this information gathering section that you begin to like gather thoughts together as to who do you need to, who will be your resource when you're going in that direction and things like that. And one of the few people that I've identified to be that is the lady that just spoke. I call her Professor, right? And I'm not kidding. Lola Simi, she's one of those people that will be my mentor also along the line. So in life, we need mentor. That's just the truth. To be a successful, career person, you need a mentor. You need a career coach. No NBA person or professional become who they become without pointing finger at, oh yeah, this is my mentor, the one that will say, hey, I wake up at 6 a.m. and go and do this thing, 20 jumping jacks, 56 whatever it is, running up the hill and things like that. And that is what Proven Academy is actually there to offer. And we trust that we're going to be the voice that will lead you, that will guide you into that career that you have chosen. So, on that note, we're going to shut down. I really want to appreciate everyone that have spoken, the kind words. Thank you for everyone that signed up for this training. Thank you for everyone that make time available to attend this webinar too. I so much appreciate that, and I know that if you have been, if God is leading you to take your career to the next level, and you want to go in this cybersecurity journey, you're going to give us a try, and then your testimony will be added to the catalog of people that have been successful in this field. So thank you, and may God bless you. Have the rest of your day a very wonderful day. Okay. Thank you so very much.
Bless you too.
All right.
Bless you too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. K.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.